Bro, I be thinking like, bro, you could've did this, he could've did this, your little partner could've did this. My beef is really mainly in the music industry. It's not with the world. God, I don't mean that in a bad way, but you gotta get a little bit more smoother, the way you stick and sneak.
Quando Rondo isn't holding back, making his stance loud and clear after Lil Durk got jumped in jail, by his own affiliates no less. This comes right after Durk's trial was postponed to October 14th, 2025, a delay that's only adding to the chaos behind those prison walls. Now the big question is, where was the rest of OTF when this went down? They're all locked up together, right? So why was Durk left to fend for himself, eating alone in his cell like he had no backup? The leaked footage has fans wondering if cracks are starting to form in Durk's relationship with his crew. Things are getting real inside MDC. Let's break it all down. Back in August 2022, Durk's name got linked to the hit on Lil Pab, Quando Rondo's cousin. Prosecutors claim it was a targeted attack, and as the charges piled up, conspiracy, firearm possession, and even a murder-for-hire plot, the feds made it clear Durk wasn't getting out of this one easily.
He's accused of conspiring with others to murder a rival rapper in Los Angeles in 2022, but the shooters missed their intended target and someone else.
Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the site. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening.
Durk's legal team pulled every trick in the book, even putting up a $3 million bond package, but the court shut it down instantly. They ruled him too much of a risk, meaning he's stuck behind bars until trial. Then, out of nowhere, Durk was transferred to MDC Los Angeles, a facility notorious for being ruthless. And guess who he's locked up with? His closest OTF affiliates, Con KZ Grant, DeAndre D.D. Keith, Flacka Jones, and Asa Boogie Houston. These were his day ones, but in federal prison, loyalty gets tested real fast. Don't let MDC's modern-looking exterior fool you. Inside, it's a war zone. Unlike state prisons where gangs are separated, MDC is a free-for-all housing drug. Lords, high-profile criminals, and gang leaders all under one roof. Corrupt guards smuggle in cell phones, drugs, and weapons for the right price, and daily fights break out with no one caring if you're famous. Durk isn't getting any special treatment, and the real threat? Some of his own people might not be riding for him anymore. Reports say Durk got jumped inside MDC, and the wildest part? It wasn't random. Word on the inside is that his own affiliates, OTF members, were the ones who pressed him. And the timing? Suspicious. This went down right after footage leaked of Durk eating alone in his cell, making people wonder if tension was already brewing in his circle.
Let's see what we have today.
So the real question is, why did Durk's own guys turn on him? Was this some internal street politics? Pressure from the feds? Or did someone flip to save themselves? Let's talk about loyalty. We've seen it happen before. When the feds turn up the heat, people start snitching. There's no honor when life sentences are on the table. Remember OTF Jam? He cooperated to dodge the RICO case. He had already done time and wasn't trying to go back.
OTF Jam did 12 years for attempted back, I guess around 2010. He got out in 2022, right around the same time of the Quando situation. And he allegedly had been wearing a wire for the last 2 years.
And let's be real, if OTF Jam folded, who else might crack under pressure? Durk is locked up with multiple co-defendants, and every single one of them is facing serious time. If someone in OTF is cutting a deal, that could explain the tension behind bars. Now, enter Quando Rondo. The moment Durk got locked up, Quando dropped a track acting like everything was all good. But let's be honest, he wasn't about to let this slide. This goes deeper than rap. Even in interviews, Quando has been calling people out, including DJ Academics, labeling him the devil's advocate for stirring up drama. Quando has made one thing clear: he sees this as payback for what happened to his friend and close associate.
Asking this in a devil's advocate
Man,
way.
bro, I ain't gonna lie, I promise you, for you even just saying the devil name, I wanna just take these microphones off and walk out that door.
With Durk now fighting for his freedom, Quando Rondo is seizing the moment to apply pressure. Durk's legal troubles have gone from bad to downright catastrophic since his initial arrest. What started as a murder-for-hire charge has snowballed into a full-blown RICO case. And let's be real, RICO is a death sentence in the feds. If convicted, Durk and his OTF affiliates could be facing life in prison. No parole, no second chances. The first superseding indictment, unsealed in November 2024, lays out a tangled web of conspiracy, violence, and retaliation spanning years. And this isn't just about one crime. The feds are portraying Durk as the mastermind behind a criminal empire. To them, OTF isn't just a rap label. It's a structured gang responsible for everything from murder to racketeering. And if there's one thing the feds don't play about, it's RICO. Originally designed to take down the mafia, in recent years, it's been used as a weapon against rappers and street gangs. According to prosecutors, Durk used his influence, money and power to order hits, reward loyalty, and keep OTF dominant in the streets. The indictment even ties it all back to King Von's death in 2020, and we already know Von's death wasn't just another tragedy. It triggered a chain reaction of retaliation, paranoia, and bloodshed. Prosecutors claim that after King Von was killed in Atlanta, Durk put out a bounty on those responsible, leading to the August 2022 attack on Quando Rondo's crew in LA. The feds allege that Durk personally ordered the hit, sending his affiliates across state lines to track and eliminate a rival. And they're not just making accusations, they claim to have receipts, surveillance footage, intercepted phone calls, text messages, and even Durk's own lyrics, which prosecutors argue are outright confessions. This isn't just a case built on circumstantial evidence. It's backed by months of investigations, witness testimonies, and even some cooperation from the inside. And the craziest part, Durk's trial keeps getting delayed. That's never a good sign. When the feds push back a trial, it usually means they're gathering more evidence, flipping more witnesses, and making sure their case is airtight before stepping into court. Just when things couldn't get worse, another case has been tied to Durk's name. A newly unsealed FBI affidavit from Chicago links him to a second murder-for-hire plot. While he hasn't been charged for it yet, it's definitely on the prosecution's radar. According to the affidavit, Durk allegedly offered money for the 2022 killing of Stefan Mack, a suspected gangster disciples leader. FBI agents found text messages and social media posts between two individuals discussing a payment from Durk to carry out the hit. The feds believe Durk was, and still is, putting money on people's heads, especially anyone linked to his brothers. Murder. We all know Durk's brother, Dante Banks, was shot and killed in June 2021. Prosecutors believe the shooter was affiliated with the gangster disciples, one of OTF's biggest rivals. LA prosecutors even used this Chicago affidavit as part of their argument to deny Durk's bail, telling the judge that this proves why he cannot be released before trial. So yeah, Durk isn't getting out anytime soon. And while he's locked up, he's dealing with pressure from all sides. The feds tightening their grip, the prison system, and even his own crew.
Going against you by a probable cause standard. And they will attempt to do that by the witnesses that they place in the witness chair over here.
On paper, it looks like the feds have Durk backed into a corner with no way out, but his legal team might have a strategy to flip the script. The prosecution is hyping this up as one of the biggest hip-hop RICO cases in history, but we've seen this play out before. Remember how they built up Young Thug's case only to let him go? The same thing could happen to Durk. Right now, most of the evidence stacked against him is circumstantial, and that's a big problem for the prosecution. They claim flights, rental cars, and masks for the alleged hitmen were booked using OTF's money, proving Durk's involvement. But his defense can argue that multiple people had access to those accounts. Just because an OTF card was used doesn't mean Durk personally approved the transactions. Then there's the claim that Durk allegedly told someone, "Don't book no flights or anything associated with my name." The feds say this proves he knew about the hit, but his lawyers could flip it, arguing that it actually shows he was distancing himself from whatever was happening, not orchestrating it. Another key piece of evidence is surveillance footage of OTF members meeting after the hit. The feds claim they were discussing payments and music opportunities, implying Durk financed the hit. But if Durk wasn't physically there, proving he directly ordered the attack becomes much harder. Without a smoking gun, like a direct order, a confession, or someone flipping on him, this case might not be as airtight as it seems. Even legal, analysts and fans are starting to question whether Durk will actually be convicted. Some argue there's no solid evidence tying him to the crime, and unlike the alleged hitman, he wasn't even at the scene. It's starting to look like the feds are just trying to make an example out of another rapper. And let's not forget, Durk has spent years cleaning up his public image. He's been involved in community work, donating to charities, and distancing himself from street politics. If his defense leans into that, the jury might see him as more of a businessman than a gang leader. That kind of public perception shift could be a game changer. But here's the thing. Even if Durk beats the case, he's still not in the clear. We all saw Quando Rondo talking about peace and letting things slide, but let's be real. We know how street politics work. The feds might let Durk walk, but the streets won't. Retaliation is still in the air, and not everyone is done sliding for their fallen soldiers. So now I want to hear from y'all. Do you think this is the end for Durk, or is he about to beat the system like Thug? And even if he walks free, do you think Quando will come for revenge once the dust settles? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it. Also, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any updates.